Okay, so I've literally been upstairs for the whole morning, just training and editing that footage. This morning it was cloudy, it was cold. Canadian weather's got to be the most like bipolar, most ridiculous thing in the world, because I swear it was just sunny like 2 days ago, and now all of a sudden, I don't know if you can see that, but it's legit snowing outside. It's literally snowing. It's May and it's snowing. This is ridiculous. It's legit been like 5 minutes and now all of a sudden it's totally blizzarding. Before it was just sprinkling, but this is freaking ridiculous, man. This is why I want to go back to LA, so I don't have to deal with this crazy weather. I think I'm okay with staying inside for a little bit. Time for a little lockdown physique update.
I'm posting pictures, trying to be someone I'm not. It feels just like I'm lying to you. I fake it, stage it, trying to live some perfect life. I know I'm wasting time, cause I just wanna call my friends and see what they're doing tonight. It doesn't have to be so special. I try to be myself, you do the same and we'll be alright. Cause this pressure's really bringing me down.
4:23 p.m. Late workout today because I was dealing with posting another YouTube video. Your boy's been more consistent since this whole thing happened, so you guys get some more at-home workouts and all that bullshit content. So today we have another bullshit workout for you guys. At home, dumbbell only, shoulder workout this time. We will be using a plethora of supplements prior to putting ourselves into the position for more muscular development. Legitimately, we got a few different things that I want to show you guys. These three remain the same from the last workout. NO7 for vascularity, and then pre for pre-workout, and then pumped for glycerol powder. So that's going to give us a little bit more full look. Grass-fed bone marrow, haven't taken this today, and then grass-fed beef liver. Since I've been eating pretty much like carnivore since like for the past month and a half or so, maybe even closer to 2 months, some of the nutrients that I'm lacking in are like from vegetables and stuff. So bone marrow as well as beef liver have a bunch of those nutrients. And these are grass-fed as well, so you have to take like 6 pills for each of these. And Tyler said before this video even started that he doubts that I can take 6 at a time, so I'm gonna prove him wrong today. And then on top of that, I have 2 of Steel's new products, the One Plus, which is the multivitamin, and then Immunity F. Both of them have a bunch of different vitamins and nutrients and stuff that tons of people are lacking in. Like, for example, me, that's something that I totally slack on, is getting all these like the B vitamins and all this different stuff that's gonna help with like immune support. So a shitload of supplements to take today, but we're gonna do a dumbbell only workout. I think I'm gonna do pretty high volume today as far as each exercise and try to get an insane pump again. Last workout we did, I got a pretty decent pump for my chest, and you guys can probably do the same if you're at home. With our last video, which I posted today, that's why I'm training so late today. It's like 4:26 already. I'm taking caffeine. I'm probably gonna be up editing this so I can get another video out anyway. So each time that I post a video, we're doing premieres and stuff, so you guys can watch the stream live. Usually it's around 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but that'll vary. You guys can look on my YouTube stories or my Instagram stories, and I'll be saying like when I'm posting the videos and stuff. And basically what I'm doing is like for the first 30 minutes to an hour after the video is posted, I'm responding to any comments, questions, concerns, any of this different stuff that you guys may have, because I know a lot of you guys have questions. So I basically just want to respond to some of you guys and give you guys a little bit more information, a little bit more personal information than you may get in the video, which is obviously going to be more general. So trying to get in the zone as much as possible and just get an insane workout in. It's been pretty difficult, as I said, but even shooting this content and putting myself in that mindset of like, fuck, okay, I gotta go, get in the zone, focus, get a good workout in, get some good footage for you guys, and then you guys can kind of follow along the path with me. That's put me in the right mindset to move forward even while at home. So ASMR. Dude, these things taste like shit as well. 3, 4, 5, 6.
Can you take that if you're vegan?
No. I don't think you want to eat the marrow from a cow's bone if you're a vegan. I don't think that's the goal of being a vegan. But, you know, go for it, I guess, if you want. 6 each. You think I gotta do I have to do both? Like, both all at once? Yeah. It's not like I was dripping all over myself. Now we only got like 10 more things to take. One take. As Steve will do it. I do what Steve does with beer with pre-workout. Okay, so I'll start with side laterals. I'm starting with a really light weight, probably aiming for like 15 to 20 reps. And then I'll probably work up to like 25, 30 pounds and then try to hit 12 to 15 reps for this. One thing that I've been doing recently for my shoulders is since like I'm using lighter weights and just focusing more on contractions with all my movements anyways, I found that after a while of training my shoulders, I started to do this motion where I'm really like driving up like that, which isn't bad. You can still grow like that, but it's good to vary it up and go back to the basics where you're really controlling the weight and really contracting your side delt. So today it's gonna be more steady. I'm gonna try to stay a bit more upright and keep my elbows more back so that I'm not engaging my front delt a lot. And I'm gonna keep it like this, and then as I drive out, I'm gonna come so my elbows are essentially like in line with my delt. I'm gonna get my music started and then let's go to work. I'm gonna move to a dumbbell shoulder press now. Go a bit heavier on this. So the thing is with dumbbell shoulder press is there was studies showing that like, oh, turning into science Tristan now, but there was studies showing that like if you just, instead of pressing up against the back pad, you stay like this and activate your core and keep yourself like this. I think it was about 20% more activation in your delt. If I'm able to just go like this, go slightly lighter, but I'm getting more activation in my delt, then it's worth it. So no back, just gonna squeeze here and drive up. I'm gonna go up and weight one more time and then I'll keep that weight for 2 sets. I'm probably gonna do my next set standing just so I can brace even more. Way more difficult than just a normal seated press. Can't drive into the back of the pad or anything like that, and you can't really just plant yourself. So I'm gonna do it standing. It's gonna be even harder.
Are you gonna use lighter weight?
No, probably not. I'll just do like less reps. Okay, next I think I'm gonna do probably dumbbell front raises. Hit the front delt. I'm gonna do them seated again. Probably show you guys my meal after this. You can see kind of like what my post-workout meal is like. My eating window is a bit wider than usual today because like usually I try to keep it within 8 hours, but have my first meal around 8 o'clock. So technically I was supposed to finish around 4 o'clock so that I fast the rest of the day and give my digestive system a break. But since I'm training a bit later, since I was busy with editing videos, thumbnails, and doing the premiere and stuff, and then doing this workout, my eating window is a bit extended, but it doesn't really matter anyways. It's not like I'm need to be super strict with that. It's not something that's gonna affect me like crazy. But one thing I find is that when I eat super close to when I go to sleep, which it's probably not gonna be that close in then since I had caffeine, when I eat super close to when I go to sleep, my sleep's interrupted and I can't get into that good deep sleep where I'm actually like, you know, dreaming and actually getting the good recovery that I want to. So today it's gonna have to do, I guess. So okay, so finished the workout. He just finished cooking the ground beef, extra lean. I think I have about like 650 or 700 calories left in my day. This is how I'm tracking everything right now. So like basically earlier on today I had a ribeye and then I had sausage and eggs, so pretty high fat. So right now I'm going for a leaner ground beef. Overall I've been eating a little bit leaner during this time period. My calories aren't super high, they're like 2200. Extra lean grass-fed ground beef. I can literally just measure it from here. That's what I'm always doing. Every one of my days I measure that through that. 5 ounces of the lean ground beef, 5 eggs. That's gonna put me at 2140. So that's around the range that I want. I might add a little bit of mayo. I'm gonna cook up 5 eggs and then 5 ounces of ground beef, and then maybe like a tablespoon of the garlic aioli mayo from, I think it's Primal Kitchen or something like that. And then that's gonna be pretty much my last meal afterwards. A lot of protein so that I'm able to use that and digest. I do have a lot of time until my next meal, my next training session. So that's when I like to fit in more of my protein so that I'm able to digest it, because that's one of the hardest macronutrients for your body to break down. So
would you stay till the morning light, or would you follow me, or would you let it be? If I leave tonight, we could do this right. We'll find the remedy. Or would you stay with me now till the morning light? Before you turn away, I just want you to know that I didn't throw your stuff away. Before you make up your mind that I'm nowhere to find, I'm standing right here. I know that I told you we're over.
okay, so it's about like 8:30 in the morning. Up a little bit earlier this morning. I got up around like 6 o'clock, and then I ate my first meal like 30 minutes ago around 8. I'm just about to get into a training session, but on the past like few videos you guys have been asking me a lot about what camera I use and all this different stuff, so I thought it'd be kind of a cool topic since I am into cameras a lot and have been getting more into editing and everything like that, to show you guys like where I started with, where my video quality started with, what I'm using now and all that different stuff, and then where I really want to go next, which is obviously a big transition from where I'm at now, but the quality has just been getting better and better. So I just want to kind of take you along this little journey per se to show you guys how far I've come from like the beginning where I shot my videos on like a shitty iPhone 5 cracked screen, garbage camera, edited everything on iMovie, to where I am now where I'm shooting on a more expensive camera with better quality and everything, and kind of take you guys along that journey with me if you haven't been here since the beginning. So if you followed along from the beginning, this is actually the first thing that I shot with. Is an iPhone 5S I think, and as you can see it's butchered, like the whole button screen is broken and stuff. This is what I actually shot and edited my original videos on. I put music over it and everything, and you guys can tell that the quality wasn't the greatest, but at that time I was more just focusing on documenting my progress. So this is the first thing I used to shoot content. Even before that, I think I shot on like an actual iPod, not even an iPhone. I don't even think I had a phone yet. Even then I was blessed enough to have a phone to even shoot on so I could document my progress, but it wasn't about like pleasing the viewers or creating content for viewers. At that time I was just documenting how far I was going and how far I'd come already, so that I could look back on it later, like now, and see those videos and see how much I improved as far as my physique. But as time went on, I got more into cameras. I got this camera, I got some other things along the way. I got my first DSLR camera, and that was very exciting, and my brothers got more into it as well. So that kind of brought me into more like the editing, the filmmaking, and creating a story and all that different stuff. So from this little, I guess you could say, crappy iPhone 5S, I went on to get my first DSLR camera. That was this camera. So this is the EOS 70D Canon. I remember the colors on this camera were really good. That's why I'm thinking about switching back to Canon from the current camera that I have, which is actually the Sony a7 III, just because the colors are so much more accurate. Like I remember taking photos in some natural lighting at my home gym, and it makes it look way better because it's not, Sony seems to have this weird green tint, and their color science is like way off compared to Canon. Canon's been in it for so long, so I may switch back back, but the only issue is like with the Canon cameras, I heard they're a bit shaky, and then the autofocusing isn't quite as good as the Sony a7 III, and the a7 III has been like super good. That's what I've been shooting all my recent content on. But I think I actually had that lens at 18 to 135, so I used that for all my photography, videography, everything. So that was a huge step up for me. I remember getting that camera, my brother got it, and it was just super exciting to use for, you know, outdoor content, filming content with YouTube videos and everything. And the detail compared to obviously just this iPhone was completely different. As far as like setup for like tripods and stuff, this is one of the tripods I have, just a small handheld one. Then we got this one. This one's sick because it's like a switch pod, so you can just set it up like that. It just flips, and then you can just close it really easily and stuff. So, and if I'm vlogging like this, even I'll use this one because it's a little bit, it's easier to hold. It's got like the grip and everything, and then when I want to just snap it out, I can just throw that out like that and then just set it down on the table whenever I want. The only issue with this one is that I can't adjust it up and down, like, which is kind of a dumb design in my opinion. You can't move it like up and down to adjust the angle, which obviously I'm going to be doing a lot if I'm just setting the tripod on a random table. So this was actually, I grabbed this one before I got this switch pod, but I used this one before because it was a little bit, I thought it was supposed to be like the best one. As you can tell, before I had like the Casey Neistat setup, he always used the EOS, the Canons, and then he put that on Joby tripod and was like traveling around with it. I thought it was good, but it was really heavy, and this is so annoying because you have to like twist this to set it up and stuff, and it started breaking. So I don't use this as often, but the only issue is this one's so much bigger, so much more annoying to carry on. So anyways, I kind of got off topic. After I got the Canon, I think I picked up this. It's the DJI Osmo Pocket. It's pretty good. It's like a sports camera. It's like a gimbal, so I can flick it on and actually like turn it and move it around. So when I'm doing like running and stuff, it's very smooth, and it shoots like 4K at like 120, I think. So this is a good camera. This is like 300 bucks. So I went from like this iPhone, which is now worth like $10, not even $5, to this, which was like maybe like $300. I had the 70D, which was about, I think, $800 or $900, which is pretty good. That was definitely a good starting camera just to set it up. Like, I didn't have a really good lens or anything on it. It was just a kit lens. And then from there, I actually I put the Rode Video Mic Go, I think it was, the red video mic, which was pretty good. My audio was getting a bit better, but I had issues with the audio quality on that. So then I actually just recently decided to upgrade to the Video Mic Pro, which is the black one that has like the high pass filter and everything like that. So my audio sounds really good even when I'm in environments like that have wind and stuff. The lens that I have on here right now is the 16 to 35 G Master. If you're not into cameras, then you probably don't understand the struggle with cameras, where the camera body is like $2,000 and then the lens is like $2,000 to $3,000 in itself. So this lens is more expensive than like the camera body, but it makes the quality way better. And if you're into the camera / photography world, you know that the lens is almost more important than the body is, in a sense. This camera is so good because I can use it for vlogging, shooting cinematic edits and stuff. But this lens specifically is so good because, one, it's super crisp and focuses really well. But then also, if I want to vlog and stuff like I am now, right now I'm in 24 and the lens goes from 16 to 35. I can go all the way out to 16 and you guys can see that whole environment. It kind of gives it that cool effect of where I come close to the camera and the outsides are kind of distorted slightly, and then it puts the focus all on my face. But sometimes it makes it look a bit weird, so I like to go into more like the 25 range, and then when I'm shooting more like cinematic edits or just my training and stuff, I'll go even closer to 35. If I'm outside, because we were shooting a little bit of more like outdoor content when we were in London and stuff, then I'll use a less wide lens. So I actually have the 24 to 105 here. This isn't a G Master. It's not quite as good of a lens. I find the autofocus on it isn't quite as good, and it's not like really quite as crisp while you're shooting. So it's still a really good lens, don't get me wrong, but it has a lot of versatility because it's the 24 to 105. So there's so much dynamic range for you to shoot. Like, I could shoot me like decently far on like a soccer field or even across the gym or something, and it'll give it that good bokeh effect. It's only f4, so that there's not as much blur. Like this one's 2.8, and that's like ideal for shooting like cinematic edits, or even like when I'm shooting like this, it just looks cool with the blurred background and stuff. I remember when I got my first camera, that was like the craziest thing to me, that you could blur out the background and put the focus on the subject. It was the most insane thing in the world. I was like, whoa, I've been shooting on iPhone 6 or iPhone 5S this whole time, and now all of a sudden I can blur out all the people in the background without even having to do anything other than click a button. And the autofocus was garbage on that camera too, so it's pretty cool. This is actually the computer that I've been editing on. It's the MacBook 15-inch. Started editing literally, as I said, on this phone, so you guys don't need a MacBook to edit. But since since I'm editing higher quality footage, like I've gone up to 4K with all my footage, and sometimes I'm shooting in like 60 frames per second, I need a little bit of a stronger computer so that I'm able to edit the footage without it constantly crashing. Like when I first started, I started with the phone and it just constantly crashed on iMovie, and then I moved on to my other computer, my other MacBook, which was the old MacBook, and it kept crashing because the hard disk space just filled up so fast and the computer just wasn't strong enough to process the footage. This is actually something that's ridiculous to me. So this is the EOS 70D, the camera we originally got, and then as I said, I was switching over to Canon again off of this Sony a7 III soon. This is the camera that I actually really want to get, which is the EOS 1DX Mark III, and this camera is like the top quality, the best footage you'll ever see. Like it's crazy, it's absolutely insane to get that kind of footage. I know it probably doesn't matter to you guys just want content to put out, and I know it doesn't matter because I started with an iPhone 5S and still gained subscribers and still people followed along the way. But for me personally, since I love cameras, I love editing, I love filming, I love creating B-roll, all this different stuff, and it's just so fun for me, I want to create the best quality possible. And since now we're in a position where we're able to upgrade our equipment or get our quality better and all this different stuff, it's something that's really fun and enjoyable for me rather than just producing the same content over and over again. And especially with this quarantine period and all this time, I've had so much time to think about how can I improve my content. Obviously the first thing that came to my mind was get the best camera on the market. So this hopefully coming soon. It's so difficult to find right now because everybody's like sold out, or you can't go and sort of get it or anything like that. So it's all on back order. It's gonna take forever to come. So that's why we've kind of been holding off on it. It's kind of insane to me to think that just a few years ago I was shooting on an iPhone, iPod 4 and iPod 5, and then now all of a sudden we're in this crazy world where we're able to get so much good quality content using such a good camera. Even the camera that I'm using right now, I never would have thought that I'd be in a position to get this sort of equipment. So being at we're at like 725,000 subscribers is mental to me. And initially when I started YouTube, I didn't do a lot of talking to the camera, and I didn't really get to express how thankful and grateful I was for the subscribers and the growing. Like even when I had hit 100K, I hadn't spoken a lot to the camera, which I probably should have originally first, but as I said, it was more for me documenting originally, and then now more recently it's been obviously creating content for you guys to watch and enjoy. So thank you guys so much for all the support. Like I never ever would have thought that I'd be in a position to even improve to a camera this quality or anything like that, or get equipment like this with lights, or even any of this stuff with, you know, new lenses, even this phone that I'm shooting on right now, and then even the amount of love and support you guys give me in the comment section. Like when I posted that last video talking about some of my struggles and stuff, the amount of comments that people genuinely were like, it seemed heartfelt, and they were talking and sharing their stories and giving me their perspective on everything was insane. So thank you guys so much. I read those comments. Trust me, sometimes I just don't have enough time to reply, or there's so many that they get caught up in the mix, but I try to read as many as possible. And when I do see comments like that, it really encourages me to improve my content and talk more, speak more thoroughly to the camera so that you guys can see who I am, and then we can actually grow this channel together rather than just me post content, you watch, and then you leave the next week. So that was probably the longest camera rant about all this stupid camera equipment right now. I'm probably gonna be hitting chest again today. I know I just hit chest, but it was a few days ago, and that's my weak point, as I said. So today's not necessarily gonna be dumbbell only, but I thought I'd take you through some of the stuff that I'm doing during my day, and then after this I'm probably literally gonna jump right into editing this video all day and maybe go out for some walks and stuff. But today we're gonna load up the barbell. I found out I can load it up to like 135 pounds, so that's decent. I can hit like 15 to 20 reps just for a bunch of sets on that, and then dumbbells again and stuff like that. But today I don't have those guys shooting, but I thought I'd take you along the workout anyways. I'm just gonna be setting it up on this tripod, which is actually the broken one, so I'll have to be a bit careful. We'll just get right into the workout, I guess. Okay, so today's pre-workout stack, not really a stack, literally two things. 2 scoops Steel Spree, caffeine, got a little bit of like lion's mane, stuff like that for focus, and then 1 scoop of glycerol powder. I had a decent amount of sodium with my first meal. Usually before each one of my workouts, I'll take a teaspoon of sodium, which is about 2 to 3 grams of sodium, like actual sodium, not just 2 grams of the actual product itself in mass. So I should be pretty pumped up and pretty full. I don't find I hold on to too much water with my sodium because I'm really low carb, fresh thing and pumped, but I'm really low carb anyway, so I don't hold on to a lot of water in general. Anything that's being held on to is from the sodium that I have and the glycerol that I have, but it's fine because it makes me look a little bit more full. Don't know how the angles are going to be today because literally don't have anybody to shoot, just me. We'll try to get the best thing we can do. You guys probably don't care. You guys probably just want to see the workout. I'm gonna start doing more programming and blocking of my training so that I'm actually doing a legitimate program rather than just going through the motions, shooting and training. It also probably get me to take more rest days since I'm a gym addict and literally train twice a day for like 7 days a week just because one, I love training, but also because I'm shooting so much content. If I have an actual schedule and a program where I'm able to see like, okay, so this week I'm doing more strength work, or this week I need more rest days, I'm taking a deload or whatever it is, or I'm doing more hypertrophy, then that'll actually keep me from overtraining and overworking, which a lot of the times I do. If you're wondering, that was not 4 scoops, that was like 4 half scoops, so 2 scoops total, 360 milligrams of caffeine, then 370 milligrams of creatine, and then I took creatine as well when I was downstairs. The other day I was scrolling through like comments and stuff, looking through stuff for video content ideas. If you guys have any ideas at all, leave them in the comment section below. One thing that I saw that was common was there's a lot of teenagers following my page. Here, let me take this off the tripod. Obviously, there's a lot of teenagers following my page, and all those teenagers are asking the same question, which is how do you build the most muscle fast? To be honest, if you are a teenager, like you're in 16, 17, even 15, you're in a totally optimal range to start growing because your testosterone is just through the freaking roof. And when you train, obviously that's going to be a huge boost in helping with muscular development and muscular growth. So when you're a teenager, just focus on just consistency. That's probably the biggest thing. A lot of teenagers are inconsistent with their training, their diet, nutrition. And then the other thing with specifically training is actual progressive overload. So if you block your training out and progressively overload each rep range, that's how you're gonna get the most growth while doing like different variations. So if I work in the 8 to 12 rep range and I progressively overload, so let's say I'm doing a bench, right? And I'm just starting out and I have a 135 bench and I'm working in the 8 to 12 range. And in a 3-week period, since I'm just starting out, I'm gonna have a lot of growth. I go from 135 to 165 for 10 to 12 reps. If you're able to do that, and then if you hit a plateau after that, you switch to another variation, another range. So let's say I go to the 10 to 12 range versus the 8 to 10 range, or 6 to 10 range. I go to the 10 to 12 or 12 to 15. Then I work in that range, try to go up as much as possible, progressively overload. Once I find that I hit a plateau with that, then I go back to my original range, and you keep switching it, keep doing different variations, just so your body's not constantly adapting. If you're always doing the same thing, regardless of if you're doing the same exercise, that doesn't mean anything. If you're doing the same exercise, just switch up the rep ranges. Your body's gonna respond completely differently to it. So if you're able to switch the rep range slightly and do like, let's say start with 10 to 12, that's a common range. And then after that, switch to 12 to 15. And then after that, switch to 8 to 10, and then 6 to 8, and so on and so forth. If you're able to do those small variations, that's gonna make a huge difference in muscle stimulus. So that's one thing I would say that was a key factor in my growth starting at a young age. Like I was pretty skinny before, but I was always pretty athletic. So I was able to pack on muscle pretty fast. Obviously genetics is gonna play a role in that too. So regardless of if you're training super hard and everything like that, there is a genetic limit, but that doesn't mean don't push those limits and try to achieve the maximal amount of growth in that small period where you're getting those newbie gains and your testosterone super high when you're a teenager. So this video has been way too much talking already. I'm just gonna get into my training, put my headphones in. Today we got these bad boys, Powerbeats Pro. You guys have been talking to me about whether I like these or the AirPods. These are probably better. They have way better bass and stuff. So if you're gonna go for anything, they're a little bit more expensive, but it's definitely worth it because the bass is just so much better on them, and they just stay in your ear way better, way tighter when you're running and stuff. So Powerbeats Pro, strongly suggest. So sketch, look how narrow this is. I'm literally benching like this. It's so narrow. And plus, this wobbles back and forth. Look at that. So essentially what I've done here is wrap the band around the bar. That's why the ones with the handles are actually good. Around the bar, underneath the bench, so that the tension's coming from underneath when you're pressing. And there's gonna be a decent amount of tension at the top of the load. I don't want to do too much because this bar is still super narrow, so it's going to be difficult and a little bit dangerous, but it adds a bit of tension at the top of the movement. And if you're driving through your thumbs like you're supposed to on like an incline dumbbell press to hit your upper chest, that extra tension at the top of the movement really has that inward intention, so you can really squeeze your pec. It makes a huge difference. I'm gonna switch to dumbbell now. I'm gonna hit dumbbell incline. I like starting with all my incline presses because like upper chest is always a little bit more underworked than lower chest. A lot of people have overdeveloped lower pecs, so it looks like they have tits. I'm gonna do dumbbell press. I'm gonna start with like 65 pounds, work up to the heaviest weight I can on these dumbbells, around 90 pounds, and I'm gonna do 4 sets total. So okay, so now that I'm done incline dumbbell press, I went decently heavy on that. Felt pretty good. The dumbbells were like digging into my legs a little bit, but my strength feels decent. I feel like I'm keeping it up a little bit. Plus I'm not using like wrist wraps or anything, so stabilizers are getting more strengthened. This weight is around 85 to 85 and a half pounds, I think. Maybe a little bit more, a little bit less. I don't know. Really doesn't matter. I'm just trying to maintain, if not strengthen any weak points right now. Today was only gonna be just upper chest, and now I'm gonna hit some biceps. I'm probably gonna do, so I only did 2 exercises for that, and then I'm probably gonna do 3 bicep exercises. So 5 exercise physique athlete workout, the chest and arms. I guess technically physique athlete would be shoulders, but fuck it, who cares? Physique's starting to become open bodybuilding now anyway, so I swear some of the physique athletes are getting as big as like, they're bigger than some of the classic physique athletes. So I think like the weight cap for the physique athletes is actually more than for some of the classic physique athletes, so they can't even fit in the classic physique weight class, which is freaking insane, man. So I'm probably gonna do incline dumbbell curls. Probably with this incline, it's probably pretty good. Set that up, and then we'll go from there. Chest feels pretty full, not going crazy. What I've been doing is splitting up my chest workouts and hitting it more frequently, so I'm training chest like 3 times a week, but I'm only doing like 3 to 4 exercises per day. Today I'm doing even less because I just literally only wanted to hit my upper chest, and I did a little bit more sets. Plus with this band, it's a little bit of something different, a little bit different stimulus. So incline dumbbell curls, let's do it.